And there we are. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys have had a good day. I hope you had a good weekend. We had a good weekend here. Productive, very productive. And Mark is still here and he's working on his place. But anyway, we'll get into all that. We'll talk about all that. Um, anyhow, I got to show you guys something here in a minute. Okay, you have to hold on for a second. Anyway, what do we got here? We got Nicholas is here, Janet's here, Wishika's in the house, Jason M. Schmidt, DJ's in the house, Kathy is here, JJ, of course, Rose Boring. Welcome, everybody. I want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to if I could speak, it would be great. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no or nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here because we do not tolerate that. All right? Just putting that out there ahead of time. So I'm going to show you something here in a second. So, I was telling you guys we got a mouse problem, right? Well, hold on, guys. This is our solution to the mouse problem. All right. Obviously, they're very young. And I will tell you this. I love dogs. I've loved dogs my whole life. But I really love cats. And I have really, really, really missed having cats. And so Danny, one of the guys in the group, they had a cat that had a litter, and he sent me a picture. These guys are both male. So we got the tortoise male there and the orangey male, of course, all orange. They're always male if they're all orange. And so I was like, when he sent me the pictures, I'm like, okay, first of all, I want the orange one. That was like, that one thing, that's two things, right? Thing one and thing two, right? They're not named yet. I have no idea what I'm going to name them. I just got them yesterday. But they're settling in fine. Hella has no issue with them. Hella grew up around cats. They grew up around dogs. So they were not afraid of Hella. They were just like, oh, okay, it's a dog. And Hella's just like sniffed them and like, okay. Got to introduce him yet to the puppies. So we'll see how that ends up going. And we'll go from there. But, it's just, yeah. So that's, so we got cats at the homestead now. I'm tired of dealing with these mice. And, not even just in the camper. We've had mice in the pavilion. And these guys will be indoor-outdoor cats. Now, I will keep them probably inside at least a month before I let them outside. I want to let them get a little bit bigger before I let them out. And so, I think we're going to not have a problem very much with mice anymore. I got rid of all that crappy poison. It wasn't working anyway. So, JJ, would you take care of this idiot here, please, for me? This night flight. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So anyhow, what was I going to say? Oh my God, went blank here for a second. So anyway, so these guys are here now, and so they're part of the family, and we'll be good as far as that goes. So. Looking forward to watching them grow and get bigger, and they're full of it. They're absolutely full of it. So figure out names later, and we'll kind of go from there. Two cats, Brad. Two cats, both male. One is orange, and I don't know yet, JJ, because the pups have never seen kittens. They've never had to deal with kittens. But so what I'll end up doing is when I let the dogs out, I will have the kittens, I'll bring the kittens out and and let them know that this is part of our crew. So they'll adjust as far as that goes. They'll adjust. So right now, the other thing that's going on, Hella is in heat. So I have been keeping her away from the boys, and so she's actually inside here, and like when I go to work tomorrow, Kali is not in heat yet. She has not gone into heat. So what I'll end up doing is Kali and the puppies will all be in the run, and I will put Hella in the pavilion. And so that way she keeps separated from them so we don't have any issues. So my basset hound doesn't like cats. He goes in rage mode. Well, that's not good. So we have 17 cats with no mice or snakes around. Oh, Tony, when these guys get going, there will be no mice. There will be no chipmunks. There will be no squirrels. There will be no snakes. They have a purpose. And like I said, I love cats. They're great companions, but they have a job, and but I will get both of them fixed just because I don't want to deal with spraying and all that kind of stuff. So they definitely will get fixed. So moles, yeah, probably, Jason. We probably have moles. So yeah. Anyhow, but yeah, we'll see how they. But they're brothers. They were from the same litter, and so they're right now they're just playing like crazy. So I'm sure that won't be long, and they'll be crashed out because they're babies still. But no, they're doing really well. So, but no, I'm happy to have cats again. I absolutely love having cats. So I will let you guys know how long it will take before they're sleeping with me. They haven't yet. Obviously, they were yesterday was their first night here, so they're regular cats. Just regular cats. I don't think so, Jason. To be honest with you, once they get going, I think that we are. Oh, cool, Mark. Awesome. I think that we will be fine. The kittens, I think they're about 6 or 7 weeks old, something like that. So, what are you guys doing? But yeah, they're definitely they're cool. So that's all the banging around you're hearing. That's them. All right. So anyway, let's get into what babies. All right. They're too funny. They really are. They're into everything already. Get them fixed by 4 months, and they won't have the desire to spray. Yeah, that. Well, I definitely, Rose. I want to wait till they're past 8 weeks, and then I will definitely get them fixed. But all right, so we had a real productive weekend here. You'll be seeing more videos upcoming, but we got most of the flooring in the pavilion, and for the loft. We didn't do it all simply because we got to put a drop down ladder in there first. So once we get the drop down ladder figured out and in, then we will finish up there. But most of the ceiling or the loft up there is up there. And we took, I had freeze dried food, and was a lot of comments where people were saying, free protests in other cities planned in June 14th as well. Yeah, we're going to get into all this here, guys, in a second. We're going to get into all that in just a second. All right. But it's a different administration than the one we had before. So I think that he's learned a lot of lessons of what to do and how to do things. And I think you're going to see a lot of changes this time. People are insane. they're insane. That's just what it comes down to. There's a lot of mental disorders in this country, and so yeah, you're gonna see a lot of those type of things happening and all that. So, but these guys are funny. Come here. Oh, I know, terrible, terrible. So there's my little tortoiseshell boy. Yeah, what do you think? You're like, I am not sure. You can say hi to everybody, huh? And then you. And when I saw this little guy, who remembers my Maxie, right? My little orange Maxie boy. So I saw this guy and I was like, I absolutely have to have him. Have to have him. So, yeah. Fully orange cats are always male. No names yet. Nope. Nope. I haven't. That'll kind of come. I'll see how they're doing and what their personalities are. And do you have to pay for them? Well, when I get them fixed and stuff like that, yeah. you know, those things happen. So, rumors of martial law nationwide. I highly doubt that. The new Maxi, yeah, right. Highly doubt that we will be seeing martial law unless things went completely bananas. Um, it's very difficult, realistically, to do martial law, and if it's declared, that suspends the Constitution. No, actually, they slept right through the night last night. Never heard them through the night. When I went to sleep, I never heard the cats at all. They were crashed out. So I like it that they're playing like this now, which means they're going to burn up that energy, and they will tire themselves out and they'll be sleeping again. So, all right. So we got just give you kind of a few updates too. We took down all the plastic off all the windows. We got the new screening up, and that is completed as well. And you'll be seeing that in upcoming videos. Will you fix the male puppies? I don't know, to be honest with you. Not haven't decided if I'm going to fix the male puppies or not. You know, part of what I want to do is her legacy, meaning Hella, is her children. So, do I stud out the boys later on, or do I breed Kali later on? I don't want to breed her until she would be at least 2. I don't think I'm going to breed Hella again, to be honest with you. I don't want to. So, like I said, the best thing I can do right now is separate her away from them, and that's what I've been doing. So, but that's kind of where we're at with that. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet overall. So, but I will definitely get these guys fixed. So, puppies are getting big. They are getting very, very big, and they're doing really, really well. So I'm really, really pleased with the dogs. Um, but yeah, like I said, my initial thing that I have to do is I have to get a collar for Hella. If she doesn't leave, the puppies won't leave. So that'll take care of that problem short term. Now, longer term, I'll probably have to get collars for the boys as well. Oh, about the freeze-dried food. Okay. So we had the freeze-dried food in another place on the property. And actually, there's more other places. It's just this one spot that we had it. We had gone in there, and some of the boxes that the freeze-dried food was in were compromised. The boxes were, not the cans of the freeze-dried food. Now, I know a lot of people have said, because we're talking about putting the freeze-dried food up in the loft, which is what we did.
I licked several items in Rob's cabin.
Okay. Yep, that's good. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Come up and see me after 9 o'clock.
Okay.
All right. So, So we went in and saw that had talked about transferring that food up into the loft in the pavilion. Now, some are going to be like, oh my God, the extreme temperatures. Well, it's going to be dry. There's not going to be the moisture. So that'll make a difference. Um, you know, the stuff is all freeze dried food. Can the loft hold a lot of weight? Yes, Larry. The with the loft, we put down 3/4 inch plywood in the loft. So it's Ella, come on, really, seriously, what are we doing here? Enough. Um, have you ever thought about putting a secured fence around your compound? That would be great for you and the dogs, and even a secured entry of access. Nicholas, that would cost a fortune. I have 25 acres here. 25 acres. So, what if I do anything right now, I would make a bigger run for the dogs. That realistically is what I would do. I would love to have the security fence all the way around the property and have the secure access into the property. That would be great, but it's not realistic at this time. We have so many other things that we need to take care of here that we're trying to take care of here. And so that's kind of where we're at this point. The last couple days I've had those Augustin Farms in storage for like 3 years, and canned food and totes seem like fine to me in Arizona. Yeah, I mean the ones that I've had here, I received all that in 2019, so they're already 6 years old. The best by dates on a lot of that stuff was 49. And some of it was 29. But where they're at right now, they're going to be dry. They're going to be in a darker place. And yes, the temperature fluctuation will happen in there, but it is the best place for right now to put that food. And so, down the road, and I've talked about this before. Down the road, I definitely want to have the bunker in place, and then get everything that we have, or most of what we have, underground, so that it would be at a constant temperature. So I've got some freeze-dried food that's 25 years old, Real Freedom said. Yeah, so my best by date is way before 2049. Yeah, up by 2049, I don't even know if I'll be here anymore. I got some stuff. Let me look at. I'm going to show you something real quick that I have. What is that? I have so much crap everywhere. It's ridiculous. All right. So here is stroganoff with beef stroganoff with noodles. The best by date on this one, yeah, June 2052. All right. I'll probably be pushing up daisies by 2052. My best guess. So, that gives you an idea. So the freeze dried stuff lasts very, very well. And so, like I said, that's not all of the freeze dried foods that I had. Now, what we did do, I'll tell you this too. Everything that we put up in that loft, by 2049, you won't have teeth anymore. Well, I hope to, JJ. I hope to. Did you put out the stuff to kill the mice because of the dogs? No, so the poison stuff that I got that you actually have to wear gloves for when you put it in the trap, I put that here in the camper. Okay. Mice never touched it. Never touched it. I didn't like the idea of possibly them getting into it, eating it, crawling in a crawl space someplace in the camper and dying. Because then that stink would be there, and I don't want to deal with that either. So, obviously, the solution was to get cats. If I get cats, cats will take care of that. The mice will not be. Guys, you saw it on video. Well, not video, during a live stream. I had this mouse come out very boldly, go across, come back, climbed up and got a drink out of the water dish. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. That won't happen anymore. Even with the cats being this small, the mice will smell um, the cats and they'll be like, nope, we're out. And so that will take care of a lot of that issue. And, and as obviously their natural instinct is to hunt. So that's what they got to do. Yeah. And the puppies, I was concerned about that with them around that poison as well. Yes. But, do you have solar fans or are they bad to use? No, solar fans are all right, Brad. They're not an issue. So anyway, we got all the screening is up in the pavilion now. Moving forward, the next steps would be we're going to get the drop down ladder in, finish up closing up the top of the pavilion. Then we'll be getting more of the sheeting for underneath and insulation. So we'll definitely do that. Put a box fan in the loft. That's a possibility. Yeah, because it is open and there's airflow through up there. So I mean, I don't think it'll be as hot as you think it'll be. I mean, it'll be warm. Don't get me wrong, but one of the other things that we did, Rob and his wife brought down a bunch of canning jars. I had a bunch of canning jars in the loft in the battery room. So we pulled all those out of there and they went up into this loft as well. Now you'll see in an upcoming video how much space we still have. And we put a lot of the freeze-dried food up in that loft. So, that's going to be a good thing. That's going to be a real, real good thing. So we got a lot of room up there to store stuff. I want to get a lot more canning jars. We will do that. As far as I know, Miss Molly's doing fine. Real Freedom. Heather said that she's in good shape. So very, very interesting. So, but yeah, the animals up in New York, the puppies up in New York are still doing well. I think that they're going to be. I think they're going to be like 11 this year, if I'm not mistaken. Caesar and Pandora. I think they're going to be 11 this year, and Hella, I think is going to be. I think she'll be 6 this year, if I'm not mistaken. Which I can't believe she's already going to be 6 years old. But yeah, time's gone by really, really quick. So, and it does fly. I mean, I've had this property almost 4 years already. I mean, and think about that. Holy crap, it's 4 years already. So, but anyhow, let's move on here. We got 239 in the chat. We got 83 thumbs up, guys. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate it. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. And so I appreciate that. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time for that. All right. So I want to talk about the situation that's going on right now in California. You have, again, a very liberal governor in California. You have a very liberal mayor, in the Los Angeles area. And they're allowing this kind of nonsense to go on. President Trump has called in the National Guard to squelch this nonsense, which I applaud. So me and Steve actually had a discussion today, okay? And he's like, well, you don't like any protest. And I go, no, I don't. And I've talked about that before. If you guys remember when the whole 9/11 thing and everybody kept asking me, are you going, are you going, are you going? And I was like, absolutely not. You could not, for any reason, would I be going to that. And the reason was, for me personally, I said at the time, if you guys remember, I said, if things happen and you get caught up in a situation, you can get jammed up. I said, then you're sitting in a jail cell, and that's not doing any good for anyone. And that's exactly what happened with 9/11, right? Remember? The protest. Or not 9/11. What am I talking about? January 6th. I'm sorry, January 6th. And that's what happened. And I wanted no part in none of that. I would never be part of any of that. Even Jason, Angry Prepper, he was there, and they came and talked to him. So, nobody came and talked to me. You know why? I wasn't there. I don't like protests. And then Steve was like, well, if it wasn't for protests, we wouldn't have a country. I said, yeah, you're right, but I don't like protests. I don't think it does a whole lot of good. I don't. And when you have people that go, and I'm trying to think, who was it? Booker? I think it was Booker. I think is his last name there. Politician. I can't remember who it was exactly. He was like, oh, well, it was most, again, one of those mostly peaceful protests. When you start burning cars and destroying stuff, and, that's not a peaceful protest, okay? So the National Guard got called in, and, yeah, bought and paid for a protest. Yeah, no kidding. I wouldn't be surprised, Brad. When you have the National Guard called in, that puts an end to that nonsense because, the cops' hands are tied because of the mayor, right? And all that type of stuff. The National Guard is not answering to the mayor. So that, and they're not actually answering to Newsom either. So, if the president's calling in the National Guard to squash stuff, that's who they're answering to. The military is not answering to Gavin Newsom. So, and that'll take care of that nonsense. And I just, like I said, for me, you want to protest and you want to protest peacefully, knock yourselves out, right? But a lot of times it doesn't do it like that. And so the rhetoric and the buildup and the nonsense is all starting all over again. But the difference is this time, Trump ain't playing. If you think this is going to be a repeat of what happened before, it's not going to be. He's not going to allow, them to do this nonsense that they're doing. He's not going to allow it. So I think you're going to see a whole different outcome this time. I think if there's a bunch of arrests, depending on how they're prosecuted, it's not going to be catch and release like a lot of these liberal courts do for their liberal protesters. So it's going to be different, and I'm glad because people need to be held accountable for their actions. If you, like I said, you want to protest, knock yourself out. You want to go rah 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 and poor me and blah blah blah. That's great, but when it turns violent, and I don't care what side, okay, I don't care if it's left or right or whatever the case may be, but when things turn violent, that's when things have to happen and things have to change at that point. So. And not drummed up stuff. You know what I mean by that. So, we can refer to another event that, and it's been proven in that event that there was undercover people doing things. Let's just put it like that. So, yeah, it's just, it's crazy. But again, you're going to have agitators. They may be paid agitators to go in and pretend to be somebody they're not to cause problems. That you just don't know, and that's part of the problem that you're dealing with and you have to deal with. But, I don't think that Trump is going to allow them to act like they're acting. I remember watching the live stream with you talking about the January 6th stuff. Exactly, Nick. I was like, nope, you'll never see me there. And how many of those people, right, did not have bad intentions? They went into the Capitol building. They walked around and, they stayed in the ropes. I'll never forget, and I think I talked about it afterwards, that idiot, because that's what he was, okay, that was sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desk with his feet up on her desk, right? Guaranteed he went to jail. 100% guaranteed he went to jail. They were not going to allow, they were not going to allow that to happen without repercussions. And Cory Booker, yep, that's exactly right. That's who it was. That was saying it was most basically peaceful protesters out in California. Yeah, well, peaceful protesters don't burn cars. They don't destroy stuff. They don't throw bricks and stuff like that at police cars or rocks at police cars. They don't do that. That's not peaceful. And somebody had said today, We should do it like Japan does. Um, Mike Starr said Mountain House beef stroganoff is excellent. I have Augustin Farms and Four Patriots as well. I like Augustin Farms. I like Mountain House, and I like Legacy. My strictly my opinion, those would be the ones that I would stock up on if I was going to stock up on them. And I have a lot of freeze dried food here already. A lot of freeze dried food. So, but again, you go by what you feel comfortable getting. But it just anything that you add on, it's going to help you in the long run. And that's what it's about. It's about longevity, making sure you have enough to get by, that you can eat, that you can sleep comfortably, that you have power, that you have a way to protect yourself from people that don't have those things, that don't like it that you do, and don't, and they want to do something about it. So, but anyway, you watch these situations and things are amping up again. They're going to try to play the same game that they played during first time that Trump was in office, right? They're going to try to play that same game again. And, I don't think you're going to see the president allow that to happen this time. So I have Thrive Life, Nutrient, Survival, Mountain House, Augustin Farms. I search for sales. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, the biggest thing is, and this is just strictly my opinion, you do taste test. You're buying this stuff, taste it, test it out, make sure it's okay. I did a lot of reviews of Legacy Foods back in the day, doing taste tests, and they were good. I had my kid sitting there eating it. And, when she was, 13, 14 years old, and, they're not going to lie. They're going to tell you if it's crap. So I think that that's important. Had YouTube black you out and tried to block me from watching you, just back on now. Wow, that's nice. That doesn't surprise me at all with YouTube. They're playing a lot of games. They've been playing a lot of games for a long time. Probably the last 3 years, at least, I think. I think it's at least 3 years now. So it's just part of what we got to deal with, and we just keep doing our thing. Try to be as genuine as we possibly can, be honest, and share with you our experiences here, what we're doing, what our what our goals are, what are are we just randomly doing stuff, or do we have a purpose for what we're doing? And we have a purpose for what we're doing. And like right now, the focus is obviously the pavilion. Also getting everybody up to snuff on their properties where they need to be, and also working on that shower room. And I am hopeful that by the time we get to November, December, that we're going to be in really good shape. And we need to get more gravel in here as well. So I would like to get another load of gravel in here and dumped, so that we can work on the road as we need to. So, but that will happen. That'll be later in the year. We'll be doing that. And, it's just, how is the food supply holding up? I hear we're in trouble, but there's always saying that. My brother tried to get me to toss my food storage. It's funny how some people, I thought your camera went out and the screen went all black and the sound was gone. Strange. Well, that's weird. Yeah, the guy with the buffalo head, guards were showing him around. I don't know if you saw the video, guys. There was a video that they had out that the guy had on a helmet, right? And he was in handcuffs. And they brought him alone to a different area, and it's all on camera, so it's not like you can hide it. They take the handcuffs off him. He fist bumps one of the other cops, because why? He was a cop as well, and he was undercover in that situation. So, and then off he went. So, it's just, again, when things go on like that, or things happen, it's real easy to get caught up in the hysteria. Real easy. Caught up in the moment. I'm going to give you a great example, which is kind of a silly example, but it works, okay? Anybody that has watched wrestling, right? Professional wrestling, it's all staged. You know it's staged, right? You have the good guys and you got the bad guys, and they do their whole thing. So back in the 80s, I went to a wrestling match, and you get caught up in the moment. We had like the hot dog rolls were in aluminum or like aluminum foil. So you ate your hot dog that you paid way too much money for, and you balled up that hot dog wrapper. And Bobby the Brain Heenan was still alive then, and he was in the ring, and people are throwing the wrappers, and I got up on my chair and I throwing my wrapper trying to hit Bobby the Brain Heenan. You get caught up in it. You know it's fake in that situation. You know it's fake, but you're caught up in the moment. You're caught up with the crowd, and it's exciting and it's fun and it was enjoyable, and I had a great time. Okay, I had a great time. But with these protesters, if they have infiltrated agitators into these crowds, which of course they do, right? Um, whatever side, whatever side is out there protesting, they get the agitators in there, they get the crowd riled up, and then you get that mob mentality. And that's what happens. And you get caught up in the moment, and when Hogan turned heel, people threw stuff at WCW. Oh yeah, of course. And that was all part of it's all a game. It's all part of the game. So, do you think the violent anti-ICE protests could spread across the country? I think it'll be limited. You're not going to see it in Republican-run cities. You're not going to see that there. You're going to see it in Democratic cities, sanctuary cities, in those type of places. Yes, I think you'll see it there. But like I said, if Trump stays on it and cracks down when they act like these idiots act like they do, people will realize, holy crap, this time I might actually go to jail. I think it's going to change a lot of people's minds on what they're going to do or what they want to be part of. It's amazing to me. And I want you to think about this. Okay, let's look at this. Let's be rational. Heaven forbid, right? Let's look at things rationally. So, what have they been doing? ICE, right? And we're gonna talk a little bit about ICE. I want to talk about ICE too. So, what has ICE been doing? They're going after criminals, right? They're going after criminals. Now, if they catch somebody who's in the country illegally, that is also a crime. So they're scooping them up as well. So that's like a bonus. They're going after the bad guys, but if they catch other people in the meantime, that's just a bonus, and they deport them all, right? These idiots, I want you to think about this. These idiots are protesting the U.S. government and ICE going after criminals. That's what they're protesting. It's not about due process. A lot of these people have been, in and out of the court system, final orders, you're going to be gone. That's what these idiots are protesting, guys. They want to keep these people in the country. It is insanity to me. Okay. It's insanity. It's the stupidest thing I've probably seen in a very, very long time. And I've seen some stupid stuff in my lifetime. That's what they're protesting. Now, the whole big controversy right now, why is ICE covering their faces, right? Remember, you probably saw that in the news. What are they hiding? Why are they covering their faces? Why? Because they're being doxxed. If they can identify who that ICE agent is, if they can see his face, they're publishing, and this is the lunatic left, folks, okay? They're publishing the address. They're his kids, his wife, if it's a gentleman that's an ICE agent. So these morons are going after the families of these law enforcement officers. Now, I'm sorry. You don't like ICE and all this type of stuff? Boo-hoo. You didn't win the election. Too bad, okay? You don't go after people's families. But that's what's happening. And that's why they're covering their faces and doing all that. We got 264 in the chat, guys. We got 130 thumbs up. Once again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, it really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. JJ, would you take care of this moron again, please? You know, children are going to play. So that's why we have these great monitors that will take care of them and get them out of here, which is awesome, which is just a wonderful thing. So, you know, I love it. Anyhow, so again, and this is the kind of stuff. You got nothing better to do with your life than try to cause people problems because you're so miserable and unhappy in your life that you want to make everybody else miserable as well. Heaven forbid that somebody is actually happy. I think that actually causes some of these people pain. Yeah, they protest, but yet wave the Mexican flag. Exactly. But they don't want to go back to Mexico. Exactly. Yeah, if you don't like it here, see you later, bye. You can go anytime. You know, if it's so horrible and it's such a racist country, why would you want to be here? And where do they get the bricks? Where do truckloads of bricks come in and get dropped off at? How does that happen too? I thought that's kind of interesting in different protests that have happened, you know, through the years. Pallets full of bricks get dropped off. Well, there you go. Wow. I find it hard to believe that the official convoy doesn't have protocol for picking up one stone thrower along the way. Yeah, I think they were just trying to get out of there. I saw that too. And it's just like, I'm like, really? It's the whole thing is a mess. You know, people's minds are gone. I don't know. There's a lot of mental disorder happening, in my opinion. That's strictly my opinion. You know, that you could be against getting rid of people that don't belong in this country, that are raping and robbing and selling drugs and doing all those type of stuff. So I don't get that either. I really don't. I will never understand that. It's insanity at its finest, but it will continue. I think things will get worse before they get better. So I do think you will see more of these kind of protests. But I think if there is a quick crackdown by the government, which there should be, okay, if they're peaceful, let them be peaceful. Let them protest to their, you know, blue in the face, because they don't mean squat. And like I said, again, and I will be the first to say, I don't like protesters. Never have, never will. Even if it's something that I agree with, you will not see me at a protest. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I could get jammed up and then you're sitting in a jail cell and you're not doing anybody any good there. I heard a lady from LA called and she said the unions are funding and supporting the protest. She is a lifelong Dem voter until 2024 election. Wow, okay. I think a lot of people are tired of it. A lot of people are tired of the rhetoric and, you know, the whole woke nonsense, you know, the DEI garbage. Again, my thing has been, and I've been very, very clear on this. I think the best qualified candidate for any job should get the job, regardless. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what sexual orientation they are. I don't care who they're sleeping with. If they are the best qualified candidate, they should get the job. Period. End of story. Okay. And if you don't like that, try harder in school. Get a better education. You know, the dumbing down of our society has been insane. It's just been insane. It's an insane situation. You know, and they want stupid people, and they're getting plenty of them. You know, you don't think that the 2 years of the pandemic nonsense hurt our education system? with kids remote learning and screwing off and you know and all that type of stuff, not being able to be in school and learning, you know, and it's an indoctrination site anyway. You know, 500 Marines on standby amid protest right now. Seahawk just said that. Okay, cool. So, all right. So it is that time. So real quick, I'm going to ask for another thumbs up. Uh, there's 264 in the chat. Oh, I was going to tell you about that too with the die real quick, or we'll do that in just a second. I'll talk about that when we start the egg count, which is not yet. We got 264 in the chat. We got 148 thumbs up. So once again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms, and I thank you for that as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well, and I thank you ahead of time for that. So we'll do egg count starting right now. How many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Betty White. And we will go from there. So what I wanted to talk about was this. In Japan, when there's protests, they have the water cannons, and they have a blue dye in the water that will take like a month to wash off. So if you hit the crowd with the blue dye, the people that are hit with this blue dye will stay blue for at least a month. So if you don't get them right away, these protesters that are protesting for whatever reason, then you're going to be able to go in later and go, oh, this guy's still blue, so we're going to grab him. So that is, I think, a great idea. I think that's what they should do here as well. There'd be a whole lot of blue people walking around. Whole lot of blue people walking around. So I think that would be, yeah, Japanese Smurfs. Oh, my God, that's funny. That's great, Full of Hope. I like that one. Make them start singing the blues. Oh, my God. Yeah, here we go with all the puns now. But I like I said, you don't catch them there. You can't hide the dye. That's like they use dye packs, guys, right? Bank robbers rob the bank, and they go out, and the dye pack goes off, and it bangs everything and discolors all the money. They can't spend it because it's all, or they get it all on them, and that dye's on them. So, but yeah, I think that would be a great thing to do, and I think we should do it as well. Get the water cannons out, blow them back with blue dyed water. So, but these people are idiots. They really, really, truly are. They don't understand, you know. And like I said, I did a video about this. It will take 10 plus years if we did 2,000 people a day that we got deported. That's not talking about that every time you turn around, these liberal judges are trying to jam things up, slow things down, causing all kinds of problems, you know, and all those type of things. So, you know, it's just, the whole thing is insane. And I love how they talk about the guy from El Salvador that they brought back. Now he's up on charges, right? Leave him there. Leave him he's already in jail. Leave him down there, you know. But they're demanding he has his rights. And when the liberal talking news media talks about him, what do they call him? A Maryland man, a Maryland father. Well, he's here illegally. So number one, he's breaking the law. And they got him on the charges that they're bringing him on is that he was trafficking illegal aliens into the country. Oh, wow. That's not bad, right? I mean, they had him in a van. He was driving. And this is what kills me too, guys. On a suspended license with 9 other people in the vehicle. And they let him go? Really? You or me? We're going to jail, folks. We're going to jail. Yep, you just missed the egg count, Mary. It was 4 eggs today. Oh, I didn't even did I give the answer? No, I didn't. I don't think I did. DJ won the egg count. I knew it in my head as soon as I saw it. Very first commenter, 4 eggs today. And yes, for Miss Betty White. So congratulations to DJ once again. You've won again. I already knew it. I just forgot to tell you guys. So there we go. But anyway, yeah. So DJ is the winner once again. of the egg count. So I don't know if that's how many wins he has now, but he's got a lot. 29 now for DJ. Um, I win so much. I forgot to name you. That's right. Oh my God, that's too funny. But yeah, we had 4 eggs today, and yes, Miss Betty White laid. I can't wait until the other hens start to lay because that'll make it much more interesting, especially since we're going to have 3 Easter eggers. And so you're going to have to guess how many blue eggs did we get today? And then we got Miss Betty White. And then we have how many eggs total. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. But yeah, so they did good today. Weird weather here today, guys. So yesterday, I will tell you this. Yesterday here at the homestead, it rained all day. Rained all day long. So it was a great day to actually work inside in the pavilion. It was a lot cooler, a lot more comfortable. Where if it had been 90 degrees and sunny, it would have been brutal. So it actually was a blessing in disguise, if you will, because we were able to work in the loft, get that done, transfer the freeze-dried food. We also transferred all the canning jars. Is it raining out there now? Let me take a look. I don't know for sure. Hold on. At the moment, no. At the moment, it is not. So the cats are quiet. So there's one's right here sleeping, and the other one's right there sleeping. Okay, they're right there. They're sleeping now. I knew it wouldn't be long. So, but yeah, it was. I mean, now when Mark was in the loft, it was definitely warm up there for him. When Danny was in the loft, it was definitely warm for him up there. Yeah, the waterfall's got to be doing really, really well. Yep. Delbert said it's raining at his place now. Yeah, we've had so much rain. It's absolutely crazy how much rain we've had. So, but and we were in a deficit before we started getting all that rain in May, and and then now it's continued into June. So, but hey, it is what it is. We deal with it. We'll do what we got to do. The other thing, the connector, the coupling for the Kubota. I guess Barbara was saying that she was having problems. So I didn't do it. Okay, so I didn't break the Kubota. But Rob looked at that. He adjusted it, and now it's working. So as soon as I get some decent days here, I will be cutting grass again. Really can't wait to cut the grass. It needs to be cut. As far as are you permanently in West Virginia? Yeah, and I have been for a while. For a while, year and a half, full time now, something like that. And before then, it was like 3 weeks here and a week in New York. But yeah, I'm permanently in West Virginia. Yep. So probably at least a year and a half. November, I think it'll be 2 years that I've been here full time. So, but anyway, the other lawnmower, it still runs. There was an issue with the decking itself. Rob looked at it. He's going to order a couple of parts for that. One we're going to have to weld in, the other one we won't. And we have 3 sunny days this week. The rest of the week will be rain in Pennsylvania. Okay, Rose. Yeah, I know we're going to have more rain. Actually, I can tell you what the forecast. Let me look at that. And I will tell you guys what we're looking at. Let me see here. I want to see when it's saying it's going to rain. It's not giving me for tomorrow. It's not showing any rain tomorrow up to 8 o'clock at night. But it is calling for rain tomorrow. Calling for rain on Tuesday. Calling on rain for... Then Wednesday looks okay. Thursday and Friday look okay. And, of course, then Saturday when everybody else is going to come down, it's saying rain right now. So we'll see what happens. But I'm looking at the one forecast, and it's not showing me any rain up through 8 o'clock tomorrow night, which doesn't mean that we won't get rain tonight through the night, which would mean that we had rain. So I don't know. So, but no, we've had a lot. We've had a lot of rain. But yeah, we just, like I said, what we are focusing on here. All right. focusing on getting that pavilion squared away. That's the biggest thing that we're trying to do right now, because the reality is a couple of things: the pavilion, the shower room, and getting everybody's rain catchment in and getting everybody's wood stove in. That's got to be our priority, because, and I want every building that is on this property that is, people are living in when they're here, to have their wood stove set up, to have their rain catchment set up before the end of the year. Number one, because when the cold weather comes, it'll be a whole lot nicer to manage if you have a wood stove. So that'll make a big difference. But we have a lot of things that we want to get done. Yeah, all of my tanks that I have hooked up are completely full, Delbert. Completely full. And I'm using water every day. I'm using water for the chickens. I'm using water for the dogs. I use water for myself. I'll take a 5-gallon bucket of water and I'll put it in the Berkey and let it filter out, and that'll give me several days, worth of water to cook or drink with here. Then I'm using obviously water to wash up and stuff as well. Like before this live stream, I shaved my head and shaved my face. So, washed up last night after we worked all day, and that water was dirty. I will tell you that right now. You don't realize it when you're out there and you're doing stuff, but you're getting dirty, so it's definitely nicer to get yourself clean. So we got 179 thumbs up. We still got 227 in the chat. We need 21 to get to 200. So let's see if we can hit 200 thumbs up, guys. Why not? So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel again, and I thank you ahead of time. Also, like I said, it makes a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction for the channel, the better. So I appreciate that as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So right now we're at 186. So we need 14 more to hit 200 thumbs up before we jump off of here. JJ, would you take care? Thank you very much. Children, absolute children. So anyhow, like I said, we're getting things squared away here. We really, really are, and it's taken time. Tanya says, have a great birthday, Ed. I'm headed to bed. 10-hour day tomorrow. Take care, all. Thank you very much, Tanya. I appreciate it. Yes, today is my last day in my 50s. Tomorrow I will be 60 years old. Weird. Just a number. It's how you feel. I feel pretty good. I'm doing really well. I'm pretty healthy, so I'm lucky that way. A little too fat, but I definitely have lost weight. So being more active, so that definitely helps as well. So, but thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. But you wear it well. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I have people tell me all the time. They're like, I had somebody just last week, and I told them, I said, yeah, I'm going to be, 60 on the 9th. And they were like, no way. I'm like, yes way. So, but yeah, it's gone by fast. It's gone by fast. So, but yeah, like I said, I feel pretty good. Nobody, my dad never showed his age. My mom doesn't look her age. My sister doesn't look her age. So, pretty blessed with good genes on top of things. So I think that helps. But it's also how you take care of yourself. And yeah, I'm a little heavy, but I'm not a smoker. Not a big drinker. I like to have a couple drinks here and there, but I'm not like every day I'm pounding down drinks or anything like that. I don't do drugs. So, I mean, if I smoke pot twice a year, that's a lot. And, I could take it or leave it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I just do my thing, and living this way that I live, I think makes a big difference. It helps keep me young. It keeps me busy. I have daily things that I have to do for the animals, for the bees, so those, you don't get days off from that. So, and that's a good thing. So what do you got? 196, guys. I need 4 more thumbs up to hit 200. So again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, we just need 4 more. to hit 200 before we jump off here, which would be cool. So I would appreciate that. So, but yeah, like I said, just with the stuff that's going on, obviously pay attention to that. Like I said, the best thing that we can do is preparedness minded people is to continue to take care of our business and continue to get ready. When things go sideways, which I do believe that's coming, it's going to happen in a quick moment, and we're all going to be caught kind of off guard at the same time. Even though those of us that know it's coming, we're still going to be like, holy crap, I can't believe it happened. Because you don't really want it to happen. You expect it to happen. You're preparing for it to happen. But when it happens, it's like, wow, okay, here we are. So, and we're at 202. So thank you guys. We got over 200 thumbs up. So that's awesome. I appreciate that. So anyway, guys, keep prepping. Take care of your business. Control what you can control. That's the most important thing. We never know what's going to happen. We never know when it's going to happen. The more that we're ready for those events, whatever they may be, the better our chances for long-term survival in them. And so that's what I'm always going to encourage you to do. I'm going to lead by example by what we're doing here. And, great teamwork this weekend. Everybody worked hard and we got a lot of stuff done. And I think that that's awesome as well. So have a great night, everybody. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.